Okay, welcome back. Mm. The verse of the day today is when the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen. Isaiah 60:22. Okay, so we're going to cover rickettsial diseases and vector borne illnesses. Treatment for all rickettsial diseases is doxycycline. How you differentiate um, Rocky Mountain spotted fever from typhus. We're going to be talking about this. Okay, so Rocky Mountain spotted fever is caused by rickettsia. The vector is tick. Despite its name, disease occurs primarily in the South Atlantic states, especially in North Carolina. Rash typically starts at the wrists and ankles and then spreads to the trunk, palms, and soles. So classic triad is headache, fever, rash. So the palms and soles rash is also seen in Coxsackie A infection, Coxsackie A infection, Coxsackie virus A infection, Coxsackie virus A infection, and then um, Coxsackie A is also known as hand, foot, and mouth disease. The palms and soles rash is also seen in Rocky Mountain spotted fever and the secondary syphilis. Okay, all right. Mm. So, in Rocky Mountain spotted fever is carried by ticks. Um, the ticks are mainly in North Carolina. The rash starts at the wrists and ankles and then spreads to the trunk, palms, and soles. Okay. Next, typhus. Um, there is two types of typhus. The first one is endemic. It's a endemic typhus. It is transmitted by fleas, and the one that causes this is Rickettsia typhi. And the second type of typhus is the epidemic form. This epidemic form carried, is transmitted by human body louse, and this epidemic typhus is caused by the organism Rickettsia prowazekii. Now remember, Rickettsia prowazekii is the very dangerous one. It causes very um, high fever of 105 to 106 can be fatal. A BP will crash. The rash starts on the chest and spreads to the rest of the body except for the palms and soles. So you have to remember this. For both types of typhus, the rash starts at the center of the body and spreads out to the rest of the body. So it starts in the center of the body and spreads to the rest of the body. But rash doesn't spread. It does not spread to the palms and soles. Um, in both Rickettsia typhi and Rickettsia prowazekii, whereas in Rocky Mountain spotted fever, it absolutely it spreads to the palms and soles. Okay, that's how you differentiate. They like to ask this, so remember this. How are you going to remember it? Let's see, Rocky Mountain spotted fever. Well, Rocky Mountain spotted fever has more letters than typhus. So just remember that Rocky Mountain spotted fever covers more area because it includes the palms and soles. Typhus is only one word. It's fewer in words than Rocky Mountain spotted fever, and this one typhus spares the palms and soles, so there's less area to be covered. So remember it that way. Oh my gosh, I dropped my book. Well, all right. Next go. All right. Next one. Ehrlichiosis. Ehrlichiosis is the disease that is caused by Ehrlichia. Ehrlichia. I hope I'm saying it right. I don't know. Ehrlichia. All right. The vector is tick. This one, Ehrlichia, is seen in monocytes. It affects the monocytes. monocytes with morula. So morula is mulberry-like inclusions in the cytoplasm. So if you look at figure B right here, right here, this entire thing is a monocyte. Yeah, this entire thing is a monocyte. Um, and in the cytoplasm, which is this, you're going to have morula, which looks like a mulberry. Okay? Um, okay, this is a mulberry. It looks like that. Okay? Alright. So don't forget, this looks like a mulberry. It affects the monocytes. Ehrlichia affects the monocyte. And then the vector is a tick. Okay. And next we have anaplasmosis. The disease it causes, well, this is a disease. Anaplasmosis is a disease. It is transmitted by anaplasma, which is an organism. And then the vector is a tick, right? So vector is a tick. What do we say? What kind of tick? Ixod's tick, right? Ixod's tick. What else carries? What else is transmitted by the Ixod's tick? Besides anaplasma, it's Borrelia, which is what causes Lyme disease, and the third one was what? Babesia, causes babesiosis. They're both transmitted by the Ixod's tick. Okay. Okay, next we're gonna. Okay, so anaplasmosis. Anaplasmosis is seen in granulocytes. It's seen in granulocytes. Um, granulocytes are neutrophils, eosinophils, and basophils. Okay, neutrophils, eosinophils, and basophils. This is C right here, figure C, and the granulocytes with the morula. This is right here, the morula is in the cytoplasm. This is um, anaplasmosis. Okay, so anaplasmosis affects the granulocytes, and the morula can be seen in the cytoplasm. Now next, Q fever. Q fever is caused by Coxiella burnetii. There is no arthropod or vector. Instead, what Coxiella produces is spores. Coxiella burnetii produces spores, and these spores are inhaled as aerosols from from cattle or sheep amniotic fluid. That's a good way to remember. Sheetal. Okay, so it's inhaled. The spores are inhaled from cattle or the amniotic fluid of sheep. So think of farmers. They're prone to get Q fever. Okay, um, Q fever presents with headache, cough, influenza-like symptoms, pneumonia, possibly in combination with hepatitis. The common cause of culture. It's a common. Okay, Q fever is a common cause of culture-negative endocarditis. Common cause of culture-negative endocarditis. Culture-negative endocarditis. So what this means is culture-negative endocarditis is a type of endocarditis where standard blood culture methods do not produce an organism. So you can't find the organism that caused the endocarditis when you do that petri dish. Okay. Okay, so that's there. Then Q fever is caused by quite complicated bug because it has a rash or vector, and the causative organism can survive outside in its endospore form. It's not in the rickettsia. Um, it's not in the rickettsia genus, but closely related. So Q fever is caused by Coxiella burnetii. Coxiella burnetii is not in the rickettsia family, but it is closely related. Um, Coxiella burnetii does not produce a rash, neither does ehrlichiosis or anaplasmosis. See, it says rash is rare, whereas in typhus and Rocky Mountain spotted fever, you always have a rash. That's how you differentiate. Now, the rash is not common in any of these. Ehrlichiosis, anaplasmosis, Q fever has no. So Q fever has no rash or vector. In fact, it has a. It's arrives because of endospore. Q fever. Okay. Okay. So Coxiella burnetii can survive outside in its endospore form. Next, we're going to Mycoplasma pneumonia. Mycoplasma pneumonia it's a classic triad of atypical walking pneumonia, so insidious onset, headache, non-productive cough, patchy or diffuse interstitial infiltrate. Um, Mycoplasma pneumonia occurs frequently in those less than 30 years old. Their outbreaks are common in military recruits, prisons, colleges. X-ray looks worse on the patient. There's a high titer of cold agglutinins, which is IgM, and this IgM can agglutinate RBCs. Treatment is macrolide, doxycycline, or fluoroquinolones. The penicillin is ineffective since mycoplasma has no cell wall. Um, Mycoplasma pneumonia is not seen on the gram stain. It is pleomorphic. The bacterial membrane of Mycoplasma pneumonia contains sterols for stability. Mycoplasma pneumonia is grown on eaten agar. Mycoplasma gets cold without a coat because there is no cell wall. Can cause atypical variant of Stevens-Johnson syndrome, typically in children and adolescents. Okay, so what we have to know is that um, Mycoplasma pneumonia is walking pneumonia. It means that the patient has no symptoms. So patient looks absolutely fine. But when you take a chest x-ray, you see patchy infiltrates. You see patches on the x-ray. Let me show you. Okay. Where's it? What is mycoplasma pneumonia x-ray? See this. See this infiltrates these patches right here? Yeah, these are all patches. So, okay. So x-ray, yeah, you have little patches on them. Non-productive cough just means that you produce cough without phlegm. Insidious onset means that this disease comes on like slowly. It's not sudden fever or anything. It's like slow, insidious onset, and the patient has headache, but they don't know why. Okay. Okay, occurs frequently in people less than 30. It's seen in places where people are crowded together, colleges, prisons, military recruits. X-ray looks worse in the patient. There's a high level of IgM in the body, and this IgM can agglutinate RBCs. It means that it clumps the RBCs together. We treat with macrolides, doxycycline, or for fluoroquinolones. Penicillin is ineffective since mycoplasma has no cell wall. Okay, so you cannot give a penicillin to somebody with mycoplasma pneumonia because there is no cell wall, and penicillin acts on the cell wall. Okay, okay, it's not seen on gram stain. Mycoplasma cannot be seen on the gram stain. It is pleomorphic, means that mycoplasma pneumonia adjusts its shape and functions and size to fit the environment. It's in to survive. So it is a shapeshifter. Which one else is a shapeshifter that we covered? Remember? Gardnerella Gardnerella vaginalis. It's also pleomorphic. It's a shapeshifter. Okay, remember that. Okay. Bacterial membrane contains sterols for stability, and Mycoplasma pneumonia is growing on eaten agar. Okay. Next, systemic mycosis. What is systemic mycosis? All the following, um, all the following down here, we're going to talk about this in detail. They can cause pneumonia and can disseminate. Okay, disseminate just means it can spread to the rest of the body. All of these are caused by dimorphic fungi. All are caused by dimorphic fungi. Okay, where is it? Okay, dimorphic fungi. Um, dimorphic fungi. Um, fungi grows in the dimorphic fungi cold equals mold. So I think that what that means is cold. In the cold, fungi grows into mold. So because 20 degrees Celsius is 68 degrees Fahrenheit for those of us in the U.S. So yeah, if fungi in the cold will produce mold. All right. Now, if something is hot, if the environment is hot, um, if the environment is hot, 37 degrees Celsius is 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. So if the fungus is in the heat, it will produce yeast. The only exception is coccidioides, which is a spirule, not a yeast. Okay, spirule. Okay, a spirule is a thick-walled spherical structure enclosing endospores and occurring in the parasitic form of fungi of the genus Coccidioides. All right, it's just a round. Coccidioides is just means that it's round, and the spirule has a bunch of endospores in it. That it protects the little endospores inside of it. Okay, all right. So histoplasmosis next. Histoplasmosis is endemic to Mississippi and Ohio river valleys. Okay. The pathologic features are a macrophage filled with histoplasma, smaller than RBC. So this entire thing right here is a macrophage. There's histoplasma, these little things right here. These are all histoplasma. It's I guess what they're saying is histoplasma is smaller than the RBCs. Okay, let's. Okay, so here. So um, this purple thing right here, it's a macrophage, and these um, little purples are histoplasma yeasts. So histoplasma, and they this macrophage right here is filled with these yeasts. Okay, so the macrophage is filled with the yeast, and then I think this is the um, yeast coming into the macrophage. So the macrophage here is filled with yeast, and these are the histoplasma coming into the macrophage. Yeah, so macrophage filled with histoplasma, and I would say that they're talking about smaller than RBCs. I think they're saying the histoplasma is smaller than the RBCs. Okay, so yeah, unique signs, symptoms: palatal and tongue ulcers, splenomegaly, pancytopenia. Palatal tongue ulcer. So this is the palatal ulcer. It's on the roof of your mouth, right here. The histoplasma causes this. Okay. All right. Next, palatal and also causes tongue ulcers, splenomegaly, large spleen, pancytopenia. So pancytopenia is when all your blood count, low WBCs, low RBC, low platelets, everything low. Pancytopenia. Okay. Now histohides within the macrophages, associated with bird and bat droppings like spelunking. Look what that is. I don't know what that is. Spelunking. Spelunking. Oh, okay. So, I see. Exploration of caves. People who explore caves are prone to histoplasmosis. Okay, so remember this: Mississippi, somebody that is in Mississippi and Ohio likes to explore caves. They present with tongue ulcers, enlarged spleen, low RBC count, low WBC count. Think of histoplasmosis. Okay. So diagnosis by urine or serum antigen. Okay. So they have antigen. They have a antigen to histoplasmosis. Okay. Now spelunking. What is it called? Spelunking. So exploring bat caves. Okay. You gotta write that. You also write that. Exploring caves. Next, blastomycosis. Um, it is endemic to Eastern and Central U.S. and the Great Lakes. So, Eastern and Central U.S. That's where you find blastomycosis. Pathologic features: broad-based spreading of blastomyces, same size as RBC. Okay. So histoplasma is smaller than the RBCs. Histoplasma is smaller than the RBCs, and blastomycosis. So blastomyces is the same size as RBCs. Right here for size reference, right here. All right. Still close. Okay, blastomyces is the same size as RBCs. You see broad-based budding. What is broad-based budding?
Blastomyces dermatitidis.
Okay, so broad-based budding, chronic blastomyces um, is a chronic and expanding and systemic infection. Okay, so the base refers to the amount of contact between the two buds. This is to say that the broad base buds are practically entirely connected at the base. Okay. Um, the base refers to the amount of contact between the two buds. This is to say that the broad base buds are practically entirely connected at the base before splitting off. Okay, so blastomyces, it's connected at the two buds are connected at the base before splitting off, and yes, you may know some of the blast organelles on a narrow stalk. Okay. Okay, so okay, I got it. So basically, before this blastomyces multiplies, it connects the one bacteria. I mean, sorry, fungus connects with other bacteria at the base and connects well, and then splits off. Okay. Yeah, and then splits off. Okay. Um, yeah, broad-based budding in blastomyces, same size as RBCs. Unique signs and symptoms: inflammatory lung disease. Yeah, inflammatory lung disease. disseminates into the bone and skin may mimic SCC. What is SCC? Oh, okay. I see. Alright, got it. So, broad-based budding and blastomyces, same size as RBCs, it causes inflammatory lung disease and disseminates into the bone and skin, may mimic squamous cell carcinoma, forms granulomatous nodules. Okay, SCC, let's look at it. So this is squamous cell carcinoma versus blastomyces. See, this is why it can mimic skin cancer. So this is blastomycosis. Okay, now this, let's see. If you just do skin cancer, squamous cell. See the similarities? This is what it looks like, squamous cell carcinoma. So you had to differentiate between the two. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm gonna make a note of this. Okay, next. Coccidomycosis. This is found in the southwestern U.S. And in California. It is a spirule. Remember we talked about the spirule? It has a bunch of endospores inside. All this on the inside are endospores of the fungus Coccidioides. Okay. Okay. So it's a spirule. It's much larger than the RBC. Much larger than RBC. It's filled with endospores of Coccidioides. Okay, endospores. Okay. It is much larger than the RBCs. The spirule is much larger than the RBCs. Okay. Disseminates into the skin. Coccidomycosis disseminates into the skin and bone. Erythema nodosum. A bunch of bumps, all multiform arthralgias. Can cause meningitis. So it disseminates, coccidomycosis disseminates to the skin and bone. Erythema nodosum. Erythema nodosum can cause this. Right here, see this? Okay. It can cause erythema nodosum, which are known as desert bumps, or multiform arthralgias. Multiform arthralgia. Multiform arthralgias. Okay. So this is malaise, pain in the joints. Okay. Alright, and both of these can be caused by coccidioidomycosis. It can cause meningitis also. Coccidioidomycosis is associated with dust exposure in the endemic areas, like archaeological excavations and earthquakes. So California, remember how California has a lot of earthquakes? So think of that. It's associated with from dust. You get it from dust. You get coccidioidomycosis from dust. Okay. Now next is paracoccidioidomycosis. This is found in Latin America. It's a budding yeast of Paracoccidios with a captain's wheel formation. Okay, much larger than the RBCs. So remember how this looks like a wheel of a ship? Okay, this is the wheel of a ship. This looks very much like that. See that? So don't forget. Okay. This is much larger than the RBCs. The symptoms of this is that it's very much similar to blastomycosis. Blastomycosis, remember we talked about how it causes lung disease. It can go into the bone and skin. It looks like squamous cell carcinoma. It can give you granulomatous nodules in the skin, and also it's in males. It's found in males more than females. It affects males more than females. Yep. Okay, so this is just showing you that histoplasmosis affects here in histoplasmosis affects Mississippi and Ohio River area. So this is the green area. Blastomycosis affects eastern U.S. So this is the eastern. East is here, the eastern area, and central right here. So there is some overlap between histoplasmosis and blastomycosis. Okay. And then coccidioidomycosis affects the earthquakey areas, which is predominantly California. Okay. All right. Next. Okay. Okay. So we're going to get into this. Tinea. That's a clinical name for dermatophyte cutaneous fungal infections. Dermatophytes include microsporum, trichophyton, and epidermophyton. It's a blanching septate hyphae visible on Potassium hydroxide. Potassium hydroxide preparation with blue fungal stain. Okay. A associated pruritus. So this is A. It's associated with pruritus. This figure right here, right? So this is a branching septate visible on potassium hydroxide on blue fungal stain, and it causes pruritus, which is extreme itchiness. Okay, it is caused by tinea. It's a fungus. Tinea, and these are subtypes. Tinea capitis occurs on the head, scalp, associated with lymphadenopathy, alopecia, scaling. Figure B. This is caused by tinea. This is caused by tinea. And is known as tinea capitis. Tinea capitis. So tinea capitis, also known as ringworm, is a fungal infection of the scalp hair. It's caused by dermatophytes, species Microsporum, and tryptophan. Okay, I don't think you have to know what it's caused by. But if you're interested, it's caused by Microsporum and trichophyton. It is a ringworm, okay? Tinea corporis occurs on the body, usually torso. It is characterized by enlarging erythematous scaly rings, ringworm, without central clearing. Can be acquired from contact with infected pet farm animals. So right here, so there's no central clearing, it's just completely red from the inside and outside. Okay, that one is Tinea corporis. It affects the torso. It's characterized by enlarging erythematous scaly rings. Okay, with central clearing. Hold on, see, central clearing. What does that mean? Central clearing. Tinea corporis. It's a ringworm of the body and with clear skin in the middle. It would get this name from ring or there. Okay, with okay, so this is ringworm. So that it has clear skin in the middle. Okay, with central. I think I said without central clearing earlier because this looks completely red to me, but if you get closer, the skin on the inside is whiter. Okay, oops. Yeah, the skin is whiter on the inside. Okay, so tinea corporis occurs on the torso with central clearing. That just means that it is clear on the inside. Clearer skin on the inside. Clearer skin on inside. Inside of ring. Okay. You can get this from infected pets or farm animals. Okay. All right. Tinea cruris occurs in the inguinal area. Often does not show the central clearing seen in Tinea corporis. Okay, tinea clear. So that means it's not clear on the inside. It's completely one color throughout. D. Yeah, see this? So it's completely one color throughout. D. Okay, so that's seen in the inguinal area. Okay. Three varieties. Interdigital. The tinea pedis has three types. Interdigital, which is most common, which is E right here. So between your digits, right here. Okay. Moccasin distribution, F. It's the one where like your shoe area, wherever your shoe covers. That's the moccasin distribution. Vesicular type. What is that? Vesicular type. There's no picture. So vesicular type. Vesicular type. Vesicular type. Tinea pedis. So this is this is a moccasin. Okay. Okay, so I think vesicular type is like the one with like bumps, ulcerations, kind of looking. I don't think the exam will ask you anything like this because it's not even given in detail in first aid. But what I understand is vesicular bulbous type. So I think it's the one with the ulcers on your foot. Okay. All right. Next. So, okay. So we have three types of tinea pedis. We have the one between your toes and your fingers. No, sorry, toes. Three tinea pedis. Okay. Tinea pedis is the athlete's foot. Okay, tinea pedis is athlete's foot. Athlete's foot. So it's only on your feet, and you have three types: interdigital, the one between your toes, it's the most common. Then you have the moccasin distribution, where your shoe covers, that one. Then the vesicular type, the one with the little bumps. Okay, tinea unguem occurs in the nails. So this one occurs in the nails. Yeah, it's a fungus of the nails. Tinea unguem. Okay, so this is toenail fungus. Okay, right here. Another picture so you never forget. Right here. Next. Okay, tinea pityriasis versicolor, caused by Malaysia species. A yeast-like fungus, not a dermaphyte, despite being called tinea, is a degradation of lipids produces acids that inhibit tyrosinase tyrosinase is involved in melanin synthesis. It causes hypopigmentation. G. So right here. So see that G. And pink patches can also occur due to inflammatory response, less periodic than dermatophytes, can occur any time of the year, but more common in summer and hot weather. Spaghetti and meatballs appearance on microscopy. See this? H right here. Okay. Treatment is with selenium sulfide, topical and or oral antifungal medications. Okay, so this is just the fungus. Okay, tinea versicolor is caused by Mollusca species. It's a yeast-like fungus. It's not a dermatophyte. Tinea versicolor is a degradation of lipids. Degradation of lipids produces acids that inhibit tyrosinase, and this causes hypopigmentation because tyrosinase is what makes melanin, right? So it inhibits tyrosinase, so then you get less pigment, and you can also get hyperpigmentation and or pink patches. Can also occur due to the inflammatory response, less periodic than dermatophytes. Can occur any time of the year, but it's more common in hot weather. It will look like spaghetti meatballs on microscopy. Right here, H. Okay. Treatment is with selenium sulfide, topical and or antifungal medication. All right, we're going to the next one in the next video. See you then.